Right, rear seat belts. There's bugger all to bolt anything to. This is the left-hand wall. And rear lap belts I really don't like, and I probably won't ever carry passengers in here. But just in case I change my mind or somebody in the future wants to, then I'm putting a lap belt on either side. But nothing solid to bolt to along there. So welded to the chassis. I put these in before I put this fiberglass in. 2 uprights. This one welded to the shock absorber mount, that one braced. And I'm going to now make something that will come up to about here, and that's where the seat belts will mount. Because your bum never goes right back into that corner really. Try and make something up for that. So put these both sides, put this bar across to try and give me some sort of level. Nothing's square in these things. The windows aren't level to the body line, and the body line, and nothing lines up with anything. So I've just gone with this this bit of upright of chassis here and used that as my datum, and that's given me that line there, and that's where everything is going to go to, whether it's right or wrong. So I'll try and make up something to go across there. So I shall fabricate it all and then do a final weld in position there, because welding next to fiberglass is not ideal. That's where my battery box is going to go, and that's where I'm up to. Time to get some paint on. And when I got the camper, this was all covered in a primer. I've rubbed it back, and this is what's underneath. So we've got a paler blue with a darker blue, and then when it got to here, the sort of back door area here, we've got a white stripe across there, and there was a darker blue in that panel there, so there's 3 blues on it. I'm just going to do it in 2. So we'll go around the other side and have a look. So I'm going to have a practice on this side first. This has been rubbed back. The fuel filler was in there, and I put a bit of etch on and a bit of rattle can primer. And I've been debating what paint to use, and I've got neighbours and cats and whatever, and this new paint is a bit nasty. I sprayed cellulose a few times, but masking it up, and I've got to spray it outside. It's always a pain spraying outside. So I'm going to use Combi Colour, which I've used before. You can roller this on, a few coats, rub it back. I'll put a link into a guy that does it. But I went to my local Rust-Oleum place, and apparently when they mix up an aerosol, they have to make a litre of paint, and so they've ended up with loads and loads of tins with various amounts in. So I picked up these 2 colours. These are both about half full, and it does them a favour, and does me a favour because I've got this cheap. This is what I've used before, Combi Colour. This apparently is still the same brand, but this is the better paint. And I was asking him about the new Combi Colour multi-surface paint, well that's better, and he said well it's actually the same as this one, but without the rust inhibitor, so it's actually less of a multi-surface paint really. So use either. And I was debating whether to go for satin. It's a bit more forgiving, but anyway I've gone for gloss. So mask it up, make a start. Masked up. I've used this fine line I think the vinyl masking tape. You get a really nice straight line. The only trouble with that is the old paintwork isn't straight, the body line isn't straight, and the windows aren't in straight, so it's all a bit of jiggery pokery to make it look okay. So then I've just masked it up with some standard masking tape. And I get some paint on. Exciting bit. First colour, we'll try that. There's about 15mm in a pint plastic glass, and I'm going to put about 10% white spirit in there and see how far that goes. Coat number 1. Did a van in yellow once, and that really attracts the bugs. But there's a half decent sheen on that already. And I had to put another 10mm in, so an inch of paint in that cup. I've done this side. And things I've found is I don't use a hairdryer like that video. If there's bubbles, I just go back and just give it a light roll, and that'll take them out. But yeah, that's alright. So that's 4 coats, and I'll pull the tape off while it's wet.
Are you going to hold up your STARCRAFT sign?
Oh yeah, I could do. So I've done this side. I'm going to put some more blue on here. Different blue. I've not done the other side yet. But I've done the door, and we've got STARCRAFT. Got some sticky on stickers to go somewhere.
That's the wrong sign, isn't it?
So there we are. Just poke inside for a minute. Bit of a mess, but the seats are sort of roughed in. I'll put some steel in there for seat belts, but I'm not actually going to put seat belts in. But somebody can in the future if they want to. Toilet door, roughed in. So there's still a lot to do on the inside. Right, getting there. So that's sort of had a polish. That'll come up a bit more. But it's quite interesting that we got this, in the focus, this stress fracture here, which went into there. And the paint's actually covered that, so it'd be interesting to see if that opens up again, which probably will, but it's covered it at the moment. I'm just putting some stripes on now, so this has been sanded back to about 1200. And then this, I've put 2 coats on here and just knocked the tops off the orange peel with some 400 grit. So just waiting for that to dry. And then I'm going to put another 2 coats on. A little bit of detail there. And I've left some gaps here just in case the door starts to not line up. It would look awful if these didn't line up, but having that little gap will disguise any discrepancy there. So I'll wait for it to dry and put some more paint on. Well, sort of final reveal here with all the painting. I had trouble with the paint. It didn't take to fiberglass once I pulled once I pulled the masking tape off, it pulled the paint off with it. So I had to fetch it all off. So we're back to white, and it rubbed back all right. Let's spray some white in there, well, off-white. That's where the filler cap was. Which there is a difference, but it's not too bad. That's the right ball ache, sorting all that out. I've got a GB sticker to go there. Other side, I can't get the stripe on until I get it out the trees here or under a load of mess. It's always worked out alright. Gaps are okay. Not perfect, but pretty pleased with that. Quick look inside. Show you the front. Carpet sort of in, one seat in, one seat belt. Back's a mess, but that's all felted. Some simple cupboards. Felted the roof. Still plenty coming on.